Energy Bites.
Hi there, this is David Price-Francis, EnergyWorlds man, and in today's Energy Bite we're looking at the magical art of spelling. Now, what is the relationship between the idea of casting a spell and how to spell something correctly? Well, I'm very caught with language and the gift of language and how we can actually take the word, any word, and look and see what other words it's related to by looking at its component parts. Let's take an example. If we take the word earth, it is particular glyphs or symbols which represent energetics. From an energy world standpoint, every letter in the alphabet, it has an attached energy, an associated energy, and it has a particular meaning. So energies in sound are very powerful, very potent. If we even look at the biblical reference, it says, in the beginning was the word. It doesn't say in the beginning was the color or the light. It started with a sound, it started with a word. And every letter has a particular energy. So if we take the letters in a word, like in the word earth, then rearrange those letters into a different combination, we find another word that's in the same family. So if you take these letters, E, A, R, T, H, and move them around, anagram them, shapeshift them, they give us the word heart, H-E-A-R-T. And there's a relationship between the earth and our heart. And what could that relationship be? We look to Native American culture and we see them beating on the heartbeat drum, which is associated with the earth. Our heart receives a signal that causes it to continue to beat. It's a mystery where that signal comes from. Could it come from the earth? If we take the same letters, rearrange them again, it tells us that another word, which is the Ra. Now, Ra is the Egyptian name for the sun. So what's the relationship between the earth, the Ra, and our heart? And look at this. The Ra is the beginning of the word therapy. So is it the case that if we can attract the energies of the planet, the earth, the energies of the sun, bring them inside our energy systems in a concentrated form, it's highly therapeutic? I believe so. There are many mysteries contained within the letters, the individual letters or runes of the English alphabet. And it's known that certain alphabets in the world are said to be sacred. Sanskrit comes to mind. Also Hebrew, the study of Kabbalah, is the study of moving around and understanding the meaning of particular letters. Well, to look at a sacred set of runes, I think you need go no further than a Scrabble set as well. I would count English amongst those sacred languages in terms of the meanings of the alphabet. So when we take the individual letters and rearrange them, we can discover new forms. Now, a word is also something which contains energy. So the intonation and the power that's put into the word. So a word is like a container. So you take a word like loves, and you discover that if you shapeshift or move the letters around, it gives you the ability to solve things. Now, does that mean that love helps you to solve problems? It helps you to be able to melt things which have become calcified. If you take the word live, that's a very powerful word. It tells you by the power of L and I and V and E, it's a commandment to live. Well, if you make a reversal of that, which is, I call it a mirrorgram, the energies are sent back the other way, which can only be done by something which has the conscious ability to do so. It produces the word evil, which is also gives us the word vile. There's many, and we also have, of course, the word veil, to have something in a veil. There's many relationships, and I found the more powerful the word, the more concentrated it is toward the core of meaning, the more these shapeshifts have a powerful message to tell us. I mean, even if we want to look at what something means, we only need to look at the name that it has, the name and the mean of things. They're related to each other. So when we take a word and we put power into it, we can then transmit an energy through that word. So the choice of words is important, and then the energetic connection is also important. So if we take the idea of the sword and the stone, and this is referring to the mystery of King Arthur and Merlin, where they talk about the sword and the stone, and how the sword is inserted in the stone and then is to be withdrawn when there's a certain energetic signal present. Well, I think that was a sequence which was demonstrating to us it's actually the words and the tones. You need to have the right words with the right tone going inside it. So let's take another example. You may have heard of the story of Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, where there's the person who's going to open the entrance to the cave, and he calls out, "Open sesame," and that's the code. Now, all he's actually saying is, "Open says me." It's the way it's said, because you can say the word open like a command, but you can say open. It's different according to the intonation that goes in it. So there's the tonality that goes into the word and the word itself, but we need to spell it correctly. So to cast a spell is to take the right letters in the right order and then to fill them with the appropriate energy. And the idea then is to call in an energy that's connected with that. I mean, if we're sitting across at a dinner table and I say to you, "Pass the petal," you look at me and go, "I don't see a petal." But then I say, "Oh, sorry, I misspelt. I actually meant pass the plate." Then the person can go, "Oh yes, I can give you that," and they pass the plate. Well, when we address the unseen worlds, we're calling for certain powers and forces to come and attend our life. Say the word courage. And every world religion calls upon the invisible. I mean, the unseen worlds are what religions deal in every single day. The energies of religion, it's always about invoking the invisible, invoking the unseen. And their prayers, they need to spell them correctly if they're to be effective. So in this energy approach to language, it's this key idea that every single letter has a meaning. And because of that, when you shapeshift them, you reveal associated words and meanings. It's even the case that if you went back to France in around the 16th century, they had employed a court anagrammer for the French language. If someone was coming to visit the king, they would actually, the anagrammer would take the person's name, shapeshift it to find the inner properties. Language has always had this mystical significance, and only with the age of reason did that start to get stripped away. So from an energy world standpoint, I'm very keen on reintroducing the mystery, the magic of language, the individual meaning of the letters, and how it is that we actually can be creating spellbinding effects with language. We can electrify an atmosphere, we can cause a magnetic effect. And look, you take the word magnetic, and what do you do when you cause a magnetic effect with your language? You actually create a net of magic. A magic net that you bring people close into what it is that you're saying, and that has an electrifying effect on the atmosphere. So I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to the energies of language, the energies of our English language. Every single letter has a meaning, and it's worthwhile to take the time to have playtime with language. It's a fantastic gift. We look at the surface of it mostly. We mostly deal with the mundane aspect of language, but when we dig deeper, we find that it has tremendous significance. And every single letter carries its own unique power. And of course, the 5 vowels of language are the power pack behind every part of it. The A, E, I, O, and U of our language. It all rests upon those 5 vowels, which very interesting because, of course, as human beings, we are 5-dimensional beings. We represent the number 5. We have 5 fingers on each hand. We have 5 holes on the front of our face. We are a walking, talking number 5. And at the core of our language, there are 5 vowels. But maybe more of this another time. For now, for this Energy Bite, this is David Price Francis, Energy Worlds man with a view of language from an energetic perspective, signing off for now. Bye now.
See you soon.